What's going on, guys? Randall here from Off the Brink TV, bringing you another video. So there's a lot of options out there when it comes to audio interfaces, especially budget audio interfaces. So it could get a little overwhelming. Fortunately, audio really doesn't upgrade that frequently. However, that doesn't escape new interfaces from coming into play. Funny enough, one of those new interfaces is actually the one I'm going to be discussing with you today, and the one that I recommend as the best budget audio interface, period. In fact, it's way better than my Focusrite 2i4 or 2i2 that you may have heard of due to its crazy popularity on YouTube. And honestly, I think it's the best audio interface in its class, unless you need more inputs and outputs despite the price. This is the Audient iD14, coming in at $300 on Amazon. I'm not going to get super boring with ultra technical details as I'm far from a professional, but I'll do my best to point out what's important. First, this beauty is enclosed in full metal, sports hand-finished aluminum knobs that feel buttery smooth to operate, and high-quality tactile buttons with one that is even programmable. Beyond being able to program the button, you can even reprogram the knob to use as a scroll or channel level adjustment in your favorite mixing software. The back has your two XLR inputs, your left and right quarter-inch speaker outputs, and the input that surprisingly sealed this purchase for me, SPDIF, aka optical in, which is often overlooked for interfaces, especially in this price range. The front has your quarter-inch headphone input on the right, and a quarter-inch direct input on the left you can use for an instrument such as a guitar. While this is actually the Audient iD14's little brother, they made some improvements as this was released more recently. One of those improvements was the addition of USB 2.0 bus power. This essentially means you do not need to use the power adapter to power the interface, as your USB bus from your PC, Mac, or laptop is enough to drive it. However, you will still need to use the adapter if your mic requires phantom power. Given its small form factor accompanied with its beautiful design, this is a great addition, as not only does it make the interface extremely viable for the desktop while reducing cable clutter, but it's easy to pack up and use it on the go next to your laptop. Once you download the most recent drivers from Audient's website and install them, it's off to the races. The installation comes with a surprisingly useful software that makes controlling your listening levels a breeze. You can easily select what inputs you want to control, and due to the device's big knob having an infinite rotation, you can control your master levels manually or digitally, easily selecting which to operate, listen to, or mute on both the device and the software. This was a very welcome change from the Focusrite, as once you're in a flow while editing, it was annoying to have to reach over to adjust things, as doing so through Windows was far from optimal, as it didn't transfer over to your mixing software. Inside is the most important part, however, and what you get still amazes me. The two Class A mic preamps built in are by far the best interface preamps I have ever had the pleasure of using within this price range. The gain is extremely clean even at high levels, and within the software can be pushed another 10 dB above the already high 66 dB limit, eliminating the need for a cloud lifter. I cannot stress how important clean gain is. For my gameplay videos, I use the legendary dynamic Shure SM7B mic. This broadcast microphone is notorious for being gain hungry, and most interfaces like the Focusrite 2i2 or 2i4 would need to be maxed to get the mic to an audible level. This brought in an annoying hiss sound that was audible during speech and only got worse with any compressing or EQ. That's what they call dirty gain, making a gate effect, well, less effective. With the Audient, not only do I need to not max out the gain knob, but the audio is extremely clean. In fact, I'm using the interface right now. I'm going to stop talking for 5 seconds so you can hear how clean the gain is. No gate effect was obviously applied, and all you hear is a low ambient sound of the room I'm in. Now, while all of this is awesome, there's one more important aspect I'd like to address, as it's often overlooked, and that's support. Remember how I mentioned earlier that audio gear doesn't update that frequently? Well, unfortunately, this translates over to drivers. Drivers are essentially how a device communicates with your operating system and software. If drivers are not updated by the manufacturer, but the operating system and software like Adobe Audition and Premiere are updated around it, you are bound to run into issues such as compatibility. This is another area where the Focusrite 2i4 embarrassingly fails, and I have no idea why people recommend it. I constantly ran into issues such as crashing and, believe it or not, EQ and compressor issues. On their site, the drivers haven't been touched since 2013. Audient brands this device as Windows 10 and Mac compatible, but more importantly, their drivers are updated frequently. Also, while the ID14 does have some standing issues with sample rates and how it translates with Windows 10 Cortana and an optical input such as a gaming console, their support staff acknowledged I was correct, was well spoken, and answered me promptly via email, ensuring me that drivers will be updated to compensate. Given their already proven track record and how frequently they already update the driver download page, I don't doubt it for a second. So that's about it, guys. I really hope you liked this video, and I hope it helped you make your decision on the right audio interface, because I'm really happy with this purchase. And like I mentioned, just having that level of support and driver updates makes it worth it all in itself. So that's about it, guys. Again, if this helped you out, please remember to hit that thumbs up, as it helps me out more than you know. Go crazy on it, click it like mad, because that's the best way to support this channel. And hit that red subscribe button if it's your first time here. And as always, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace!